We are alive. We've done changed it ever so slightly. Where we thought, oh, if we started our starting Zoom screen at 9:30 and then gave people 5 minutes, that was a hope. It might have made a difference still. Here we are. So now it means I don't have to sit here and mumble on for 5 minutes. Instead, pretty much get going. Gemma, how are we for sound? We have the thumbs up. So tomorrow I'm doing a 10k run, and so my plan is that I wanted to almost base some of the mobility stuff after our cars routines on helping. This is completely selfish to me, I'll be honest. To help my body feel good for my run tomorrow. So there's like one part is mainly a little bit about hips, a little bit about ankles. There's only like one thing for upper body movement today, but it's a good one. And so I'm basing things around my lower body because that's what I need for my run. Even if you don't run, it's still make your hips feel good. Everyone wants their hips to feel good and loose. A little hip movement, look at that. So crack on then. So cars routines. So just to remind, cars is our controlled articular rotations. Basically means moving our joints through a full range of motion that is available to you today, which might be different from yesterday. It might be different from tomorrow. It might be different from 2 weeks' time. We're working to whatever feels good for you today. We're just making our joints go through that range. We're going to start from the top of the body and work our way all the way down. We're going to start by necks. So this is our neck rolls. You might mine looks weird because I've got a microphone and I've got a hat, so I'm a little bit restricted. So we're gonna do flexion. So this is flexion. So I've got to look down, move slowly around to the side, bend our neck back, and the other side. Come back down. And we're gonna do 3 of them each way. So we're thinking about our neck has 3 kind of movements. You do one of them. So our neck has flexion and extension, rotation, and lateral flexion. So when we're doing our neck cars, we're thinking about rotating, then our lateral flexion, extension, lateral flexion, and then flexion. And then we'll go the other way now. So then you'd call it our circle spine. Has them 3 motions available to it. So we want to make sure that when we're doing these, we're trying to think about, okay, am I just nodding, or am I trying to get every little bit of movement out of my neck as you can? I think that's 3 each way. Be nice. So neck nice and loose. Lovely. And then we're going to go for our, what do you call them? Gaps. So we do a different thing. So we're going to put hands up front. We're going to make a fist. Then our gaps, we're going to kind of roll forward, up, back, down. So I like to think of it as rolls, but actually I sometimes think it's easier to think of it as a square. Because then you kind of think of getting like that movement. Trying to keep our fists and our elbows straight. Then we're going to go 5 back. These are very nice movements. Nice and crunchy. Nice and slow still. We're still moving slow. One more. You might feel juttering. You might feel weirdness. But that's all fine. Okay, next we're going to do our actual shoulders. So that was our scaps, which is part of our shoulder. Now we're going to do the actual shoulder joint. So palm faces in. Then it comes up above your head, at the top. Turn the palm out. Don't stand behind in front of the desk, and then come behind you. As normal, I put my hand here because I like to make sure that I don't move my torso too much. Go 3 one way, and come back the other way. So think about our palms out, then comes in. Again, if it makes any clicking noises, any snapping, well, snapping sounds a bit weird actually, but all them kind of things are fine, as long as there's no associated pain or discomfort with it. There's air bubbles, there's all these kind of things like joints that make all kind of noises. Do the other side now. That is all absolutely fine, as long as all we feel is like a little bit of a stretch when we do these kind of things, which is what we're kind of hoping for. And go back the other way. And if there's any jarring, it's just basically because our joints not used to going into that movement. Beautiful. I'm going to add an extra one today. I don't usually do this one, so don't usually do elbow. Shoulder, yeah. I remember. So we're going to put our palm facing out, then we're going to come down, then come back up, then we're going to palm in, down. So that twisty movement there is actually an elbow movement. That movement is but it kind of originates at the elbow. Because we think of that as a forearm wrist movement, but actually the wrist, that isn't a wrist joint, that's an elbow joint. So we're now working our elbow. Do the other side. So we think about the elbow is that it can turn out that way and then go extend and flex with the palm facing out. Then we palm faces in and we extend, flex. So we're just trying to work our. This is probably not the most important thing we can do, but also, you know, good to make sure that your arm and elbow can work in these ranges. Then go on to our wrists. Can you move that camera and go down a little bit? This way we put our forearm on our thigh or on anything you want. Hold our hand there to lock it in place. Maybe I'll do it from the side. And then we're going to do our wrist circle. So pull knuckles back, go down to the side, hang the knuckles down. My camera person is struggling. Oh no. Hang on. We do need to get a better tripod. We keep saying this. That's our excuse. This is my excuse. I'm getting Jim around trouble. It's like, oh no, it's our tripod. We're going too low. We do one more that way. Come out the other way. So as I say, because the forearm rotation is a elbow action, we don't want the forearm moving. We just want our wrist joint, which is this part here. Because otherwise we start doing all that, and we're trying to kind of concentrate. Technically, it's all moving from your thing. Like you might have had a carpal tunnel kind of thing. That's like carpals, which is a joint, like a collection of bones at our wrist. I can't remember how many I've done, but we're going to change hands now. So forearm on leg, lock it in place, and locking that in place. Make a fist, knuckles back, down, flex forward as much as you can. And again, if it's jarring, if it's moving, that's kind of like that's what we expect to happen. What the hope is that over time, by keep doing these things, you get less jarring as your body gets more used to working in these ranges of motion. We go back the other way now. And again, jarring, clicking, snapping, popping. As long as we have no discomfort, I'm gonna point out, don't mind. If you have discomfort when you're going doing these things, just reduce the range of motion to when they're busy. For today, reduce it so there's no discomfort. A little bit like, as long as it goes away. Like if say if you had, oh, that made me feel funny, but now you feel fine, that's good too. We're happy with that. I'm going to bring the camera up a bit high now because I'm not my camera person. Secret behind the camera. Lovely. So now we're going to do our thoracic. That's my belly, but your thoracic is your mid back, kind of around this area. So we're going to lock our neck in place with our thumbs. We're going to bring our elbows kind of close together. And so our thoracic spine, we can do flexion. So we're going to fold forward. Same as our neck lateral flexion to go to the side. Then rotate and then extend. And then rotate around. Flex side. And then back to the start. We're going to do that again. I'm going to do it from the side. So you can sort of see. So here, the reason we lock our neck in place is so that we're not just doing that with our neck movement. We're holding our neck still, so we're moving just our thoracic and not getting any cheating. So again, flex forward, flex to the side, rotate, extend out the back, rotate to the other side, flex that way, and back to the start. We're going to do one more of them that way. Here we go the other way. If it hurts to be sitting like this, you can sit on the chair, you can sit on chair, stool, bench, where you could just be sitting with your legs crossed if you can, and as long as we can isolate our thoracic, that's all we care about. So I'm going to go the other way now. So flex forward, flex, rotate. We're going to do one more. All right. Say morning to me. Say morning, Jim. I didn't know. You said morning? Sorry, guys. I've come across as rude now, but my camera person behind the screen should be telling me that people were saying morning. I would have said morning back. We say, hope you're having a wonderful morning. Jim was just didn't want me to know. We're done now? Jurassic. The last one we did, didn't we? Pelvic, that's what we're doing now. We're going to do our pelvic tilts. Let's do them on the floor today. Actually, no, it's going to be more pajama. Don't ignore that. So, hands and knees. Yeah. We're doing that now, moving our pelvis, keeping our back nice and still. So we're going to be thinking about tilting our pelvis forward. So you see a little arch there. That's all we want. Anything moving up of our back, just there. Then we're going to kind of squeeze our bum and tilt it the other way. I can tell you that this is squeaky. So this is technically called anterior tilt, because your pelvis is tilting forward, and it's called posterior tilt because it's tilting backwards. We're going to kind of move slowly through the motions. And you're like, oh, Harry, aren't you just twerking on the floor? Well, yes, I am. Yeah. And I'm excited. Little husband-wife human. It's Saturday morning. And we can. We'll do one more because when I forget to count, I do one or two more. Beautiful. Okay, now Jim's going to have to bring the camera up. Stand up. So you can hold on to the wall, or whiteboard, wall, the desk, side, something like that. I'm going to put my hand on my right side hand. I'm going to do our hip cars, so I'm going to do my left side first. So that means we bring our left leg up, then we bring it out to the side, rotate in, come around to the back, then you start feeling a stretch to the front, and then back to the start. So what we're thinking about is the rest of our torso staying still. If I do it that way. So we come forward to the side. What can happen when we get to this point is people start leaning forward with it. Then you can see my hip never goes behind my body. Whereas when we get to there, we want to try and keep our torso still, and we're trying to extend as much as we can there. So go do one more that way. Rotate. We sit down. Have a little wiggle. Then we're going to go the other way. So we're going to extend first. Rotate. And come back in. Extend. Rotate. This way we're moving our hip in all these ways meant to move. We're working flexion and extension on the hip. We're technically working some like adduction and abduction, like moving it in and out, and we're working that rotation. I'm going to do my left side now. I'll do it freestanding. No, sorry, I did the left side, didn't I? Yeah, right side this time. I'm with it. So, leg up, right head out to the side, rotate, and at the back, to start. Side. You might find differences in the sides. You might find one has more range. You might find when you're twisting your leg, you feel tightness. Like my left side, I feel tighter, which I know from when I'm doing my running. It's all fine. We're not perfectly symmetrical beings. We're meant to be asymmetrical. Rotate, start, extend. Booyah. Done, bosh. Okay, Gemma's going to be annoyed now because I've got to go back to the floor. We're going to do some knee movements later on, but we're going to do our kind of tibial rotation. Basically moving our shin, because it's still like the joint is from the knee down. So we make fingers around our shin. Then we're going to allow that to help us create the movement. So we're going to turn out. You see my foot turning out. And then come back in. And then we can twist that in. So all our fingers are doing is encouraging that movement. It's not going to help. You're still going to have to move your leg to get the movement. Your fingers are just encouraging and giving a bit more feedback. So our knee has to allow for rotation when we move, which some of the courses I was doing last night seem to don't know about, but here we are. I'm going to do one more each way. I'm going to change sides. And again, you might find that one side feels tighter than the other. One side might have less movement. You might find one side can turn out more, one side can turn in more. Again, asymmetrical with people with dominant sides, like right side dominant, left side dominant, right footed, left footed, right handed, left handed. How we sit, how we stand. We're making sure that we're not, what I have seen people do is that they turn out and then move the whole leg. That's why I make sure we've got our knee up so our thigh stays still and we are moving that shin. Not a huge movement. That's it. And then have a little wiggle. And then ankles now. So I like to put my arm underneath my knee thigh area. And then hold that in place. And then bring my ankle. So toes back up to our shin. And that's going to turn out. And we're going to make a point on toes. And we're coming back up again. So our ankle that's plantar flexion. It has inversion, dorsiflexion, knee version. So our kind of ankle can do movement like that and then go in and out. So it feels like a circle. There's not actually any kind of rotation there. That's just the movement now. And then go back the other way now because I can't remember what I've counted to. We'll go back the other way. Make sure my ankles are feeling all nice for my run tomorrow. Well, I don't have any problems with my ankle so far. Only a little bit of dip in my hip. Oh, hey, I'm there for you. I'm going to do 2 more. Beautiful. And go the other side. Again, I'm underneath my knee. You can hold your leg in place if you want. So bring your toes back towards your shin. Twist it out. Point the toe. Bring it in. Move in slow. Otherwise people, if you don't move slow, people just do this and go, yeah, I'm doing it. No, you're not. No, you're not. You go slow. We're going to do 2 more that way. Wait, I said 2 more. I still lost count. But you try talking and counting and focus on what you're doing, yeah? Then you try it, yeah? How about you do this next week? Jim just volunteered herself to be my model next week, so. Do 1 more. Oh, that's taking a lot. Thick. Lovely. Then we can stand up. With the angle, make sure you see my feet. Sounds like starting bloody fans of feet. We do our foot drills. So we go onto our toes. And then we walk. Don't worry, sorry. You can get a point. So walk on your toes and then stay on your toes and walk back. So just so we're clear, that is on your toes. So you can walk back, you can walk forward, like 1 length forward, 1 length back. Maybe I do it this way. That'll be easier. Once you're on your toes and you go onto your heels, so bring your toes off the floor, keep your heels down and walk on your heels. So go 1 length forward and then stay on your heels and walk backwards. If this feels too much, you can just kind of stay one place and just do like in and out on G heels. Then might be easy to do this way now. Then we go onto the outside of our feet. So that, and then same thing. You're gonna walk forward. You're gonna walk back on the outside to whatever's comfortable for you. Again, if that feels uncomfortable, you can just stand there and go in and out of that movement. Then last one on the inside of you. So you go down, take outside your foot off the floor and pull them inside. Out. And walk forward back. Again, if that is hard for you, you can just bring your legs in. You'll feel like your hips moving in. And once you've done that, we have a little shake off. We can do a few kicks if you want. You can do what I'm going to do. Have a little bit of water. As we know, the tea and water is silent. And that's not for discussion, that's fact. I'm just going to bring the camera up now so you can see my face. So I'm not just like a talking body. Hey, hi, me. It's me. Hi. So, everything right? This one. So, we're going to do the first thing is going to be everything standing up. And then the second thing is going to be everything lying down. Because I thought this through. So, we're going to do something called hip hikes. And ideally, you could do this off a step. But I'm going to show you how to not do it off a step. And now I'm actually going to annoy Gemma because I might actually ask her to angle it down now. If you have a step, I recommend doing this off a step. But if not, you can still do it on the floor. So essentially, with the amount like sassy hips. Okay, can you angle the camera down? If this will make more sense. That's it. That's too much. Come on. Beautiful. Right, so what we can do, so I'm going to do my left side first. That left leg's going to stay straight. I'm going to bring that leg forward. And then you're going to let that hip drop. And then raise it up. And this leg's staying still. So again, if you had a, I'll show you from the side. If you had a step, you'd have this leg on the step. And this right leg would drop below your other foot. Let me do it that way. So this leg straight. So you can see that I can drop that hip and bring back up again. So this leg staying straight the whole time. Fix on the other side. So leg stay straight. Drop that hip and then bring it up. So we sort of call it sassy hips. Put it one more. Then do the other side. Same. What's that? What's the colourful things? Oh, hold on. Let me do two more sassy hips and I'll show you. Yes. Yes. The PlayStation sign. Triangle, circle, X, square. Is that what you mean? That's BB27. That's our robot. Good. Okay, so that's our hip hikes. So you should like ideally when we're doing these, as you hit, like you feel stretch on the outside of the hip there, and then you kind of feel something as you squeeze there. Then we're going to do something called hip rotation walking. Gemma, can you bring the camera up so you can see my face because I don't look weird? Ever so slightly. Beautiful. So if I step forward on my right leg, that back leg stays here on the floor. We're going to hinge over and then twist towards the forward leg, and we're looking for a stretch all down there. We're going to twist over and then come back up. You're going to end up walking 5 times. So then you go to your left side. Again, left side's forward now. That back foot stays down. We lean forward and then twist to that side. And you feel a stretch all the way down that left leg. The right side, hinge, twist. The reason I'm doing this is when I'm running, this is a very exaggerated way of which we run. And it gives us a nice little stretch on the outside of that leg. I'm going to do, I can't remember how many times I've done them. I'm going to do 5 on each side. Not that I know how many I've done, but this is almost like a kind of similar to an RDL or a hinge movement. We're adding that rotation just so that stretch comes from there. Sometimes you can do this with weight. You can hold a weight and then you're hinging over with weight. One day I'll remember how many I've gone to. We'll call it there. We'll call it there. So that's what I call hip rotation walking. So we're walking, we're hinging, rotating. I quite like it. Now you need to find a wall. You need a wall. A wall's gonna be your friend now. And can you angle the camera down ever so slightly, just so I can see the skating board? So as you know, so I said I'm doing a run, so my calves are very important. Beautiful. So you might find it's easier if you have shoes on, just get your foot stuck in place. But you need something basically to wedge your foot on. It could be a little step, anything to wedge your foot on. You're gonna put your toes, keep that leg straight, your toe up against the wall. You might start feeling the stretch. Then think about moving the whole body in one. You can hold the thing, and then you're gonna lean forward. You see how I am not leant forward like that. My whole body's come forward. We're looking for a very quiet and intense stretch in that's our calf, the back of our lower leg. And you come forward and you're going to hold it. Stretch. If you don't feel a stretch, you might need to bring your toes higher, or you might need to make sure that your torso is all in line. Otherwise, you might be here and you lean forward and just do that and just do nothing. Make sure that we're bringing our kind of hips through with us. Another few seconds. We change sides. Again, toes against the wall, heel down, and from there, hips closer to the wall. Ooh, that side's tight on my side. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. I'll hold it for a few more seconds. Hit. Whoop, knee it over. Do the 3 things. I'm going to do that all again. So think about hip hikes again. So our static hips. And Jeremy, you can bring the camera up now. Because I've just showed everyone what we're doing. So again, if you have a step, we could do a hip hike. So up, hit drop, up, hit drop, drop. I think at one point Gemma called these Chicago hips. Come on, boy. Take it down. If I need a buzz, wouldn't it? And no, I thought it was that, but another just. Then our rotation walk again. So I did step forward, hinge, and twist. Leg forward, hinge, and twist. Doesn't matter how you stand. If the back foot comes off the floor, as long as we're getting that stretch on the side that's forward, then we're good. Obviously, I'm staying in place, but you could literally be walking along your room as you're doing this. Cool. Okay, nice little bit of movement on the hips. Nice little rotation in our spine. Everyone's happy. Oh, we need to go over again. Then find our wall again. Our friend the wall, or your step, whatever you're using, a yoga block, whatever you want to use. Go against there, hips forward. Feel that stretch in that calf. And hold. This is like I'm trying to push the wall. It looks a bit weird, really. I feel like I should be doing like a photo shoot, like. And the other side. Oh, damn. That's a little bit tight today. Oh, look, move the camera. And usually do 2 sets. Then we're going to do 1 more set of them things. So, 1 more set of them things. So, go back to hip hikes. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. What's the point of doing this if you're not booping? More. This is making our hips nice and comfortable in, and pelvis in moving that way. We're just exploring movement. Oh. Lovely. Then to our hip hikes. Hip walking. So leg forward, hinge, and twist. Forward, hinge, and twist. We're making sure as well we are twisting our spine, but also thinking about when we get to a twisting point, these 2 hips kind of close, and we're trying to bring our 2 legs almost like trying to bring our hips And twisting to make sure we're twisting our hips and our pelvis, and we're not just twisting our spine. Otherwise, we get to here, we just twist our spine, we're not getting the right thing. Make sure that we're twisting our spine and bringing in pelvis together as well. Pelvis together, you know what I mean? Bring our sides together. I'm going to do one more each side. Whoosh. On the wall again. Toes up. Then lean forward. Hips forward. Hold. 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 And release it to the other side. Hips forward. And then we hold. And hold and hold and hold. Beautiful. Okay. Now we're going to go onto the floor. All these things are going to be all from the floor now. I'm just going to move the camera. I'm going to have some water. So first, we're going to put our leg in 90 position. So 90. And we're going to think about putting a hand over our leg and then just pushing down into it as far as we can go. Get a nice stretch, and then come back out of it. Some more hip love. Whoosh. The push-up shouldn't feel hard, but we do want quite a nice stretch in the outside of that leg. We do 5 of them. Just going as low as you can go. You might not be able to get as low as me. If you're going to get to there, that's fine, just depends on the movement in your hip. You might find one side's a lot more of an intense stretch or a lot tighter than the other side. Again, that's not surprising. My left side is tighter than my right side, and I feel that. It's all good. It's all good. As long as we can keep our legs fairly still and we're trying to move into that movement. Move into that stretch. 5 each side. Then you can stay seated. We can kneel in, however you want to do it. And we do our arches. So we're thinking about bringing one hand behind our back there, one hand. Let me put my hat that way for a little bit. Hand behind us there. Then from there, we're slowly moving between those two positions. Touch up fingers other side. I'm going to do it. You can see from this way. You see it? Yeah. So we're going to start here. We're going to move them out. Twist our hands around and touch again. We'll be nice and slow. This is us moving our shoulders in and out of external internal rotation. You might find one way you can touch your fingers or get closer than the other side. Fine. This is quite a difficult movement. It involves quite a few things, having flexibility and mobility apparent to them. We're all good. We'll do one more. That's it. We're going to turn around and spin my hat round. Then we'll do our knee inflections. So we're going to knees under your hips and your toes together. And then this is where we slowly come down. Sit back and down as far as you can. And slowly come up again. So I like to keep my torso quite straight and sit down that way, like that. That's harder. The easier way to do it, if that feels too much, is to lean forward more. And then come up. The difference being is moving our kind of center of mass, and it's like the leaving technically talk. So by doing it this way, basically putting more weight through my legs. But the most important thing here is that we're moving slowly in and out of quite full knee flexion. So I'd rather you feel comfortable and do like that than I would do make it too hard. As long as we're kind of moving our knees for a nice amount of flexion, that's what we're working towards. And do one more. Again, your knees might make all sorts of noises. That's fine. That's what knees do. Knees got good for me again because I'm running tomorrow. Running's quite. It's fun. I mean, running is a bad rap. People say running's bad for your knees. Running's not bad for your knees. Running too much too soon is bad for your knees. The same for anything. Okay, so we go back to our hip 90s. So again, and lean over this side. Push. Let yourself go down into it. Then push yourself out of it. A nice little stretch, or quite an intense stretch, if you may. We're going to do 5 of these. Ooh. Then we're going to see the other side. So again, 90 to 90 again. Hands over. Go down, and push out of it. More. Beautiful. Then back to our knee flexions. Okay, sides. So again, knees under hips, big toes together, and slowly go down. If it feels too much under your ankles, you can put like a little towel or a cushion underneath there. Because again, although stretching the front of your legs is a kind of point of this movement, I'm more concerned about getting good knee flexion than I am making it difficult on your ankles. And so yeah, these are doing these nice and slow helps get more kind of blood flow through your knees. And when you're like me and doing running and stuff, your knees do take quite a bit of force, and this is helping them just recover a little bit better. And it's not often that we would, because all the time we're sitting on a chair, not often we go into this kind of full knee flexion. What's time? I've got time. We can do one more round of win things. We've got time. We've got time to do one round of them things. So 90 push-ups. Oh yeah. Last 5 of these each side. My floor's decided to make noise now. I don't know why it's making noise. Why. 5. We'll go to the other side. 90. In over. Again, as you go through these movements, you might feel like, it feels like your muscles are loosening off, your joints are feeling a bit more looser, you're not feeling quite the stretch you did at the start. That's just blood flow, relaxation. That's the point of all these things. Oh, do you know, I didn't do the archer last time, did I? That's why I went through it so quickly. Sorry, guys. Do archers this time because I forgot last time. See, hands together. Move slowly. You might have been smart and not been me and like, Harriet, I'm just gonna do the archer because you forgot this time. You didn't remember, did you? No. So again, moving nice and slow in and out of these movements. Part of the point of this is to move our hands and arms nice and slow. So we're moving our shoulders nice and slow. Same thing like with the other movements. So I said you might find that as you go through the reps, your hands get closer and closer together, or your fingers start overlapping more and more. You might feel more of a stretch in your arms. Which is what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to achieve from all this. Hopefully you have more room than I do and not trying to do this with a desk next to you and a pallets next to you and a wall next to you. Lovely. We'll do our last knee flexion. Knees on the hips. Toes together. Nice and slow. Or as slow as you can go. this will be the last thing that we do before we do end with some breathing. You might feel crunchiness, might feel popping in your knees. That's not a sign of anything bad. If anything, that's a sign of some healthy needs, that your body, your joints produces the noise. I'm going to do one more. Beautiful. That's the end of the movement. So we're going to end, as always, with some breathing. So, if I lie down this way, works. So we're going to lie on our back. This is called hook lying. Ah! So this is called hook lying. So when your knees are up, hands go on our lower ribs. We're going to do, first we're going to do the full exhale. So we're going to put our hands on our lower ribs and nice deep breath in. And then you can see that I'm putting pressure in against my ribs, and you see my hands now come out a little bit, and then nice long exhale. We're trying to make sure we can feel our lower ribs moving. As well as our belly, like a lot of time it's easier for us to get our belly moving. But we also make sure our ribs are expanding out the side. So nice deep breath in. Nice long exhale. That's me quite exaggerating the movement, the breathing. That's why you carry on doing that. So carry on, just keep taking nice deep breaths in. And we're trying to extend the exhale to about double the length of the inhale at least, just so we're kind of activating our kind of relaxation nervous system, like we call our parasympathetic nervous system. But we're focusing on long exhales, having our bit of pressure on our hands, bit of pressure with our hands on our ribs, just so we feel that feedback. So if you can't remember that, you gotta do another 5 deep breaths like that, and then I'm gonna carry on talking. So we're doing the breathing at the end, so that it tells your body and gives it feedback saying that we're done with the movement, and it's time to kind of recover now, relax. So we don't. The idea that we've now done all our joint movements, we've done a little bit of mobility stuff, we've kind of made our body feel nice and looser. We then make sure our body's going to end this session in a relaxed state, so it feels nice still, and that it doesn't take away any stress from the session into the rest of your kind of day. The rest of this is a Saturday, if you're watching a different day, whatever day it is, it takes you into the rest of the day. And then helps the recovery process, like we put our joints and some muscles through some kind of stress. Not loads, it's been more like easygoing, but it's still our body, any movement our body goes through creates stress, so now it needs to recover from that. But yeah, so hopefully this whole thing has made you feel a bit nicer, feel a bit looser. I know I feel my hips feel a little bit nicer now, my knees feel a little bit nicer. And I was selfish today. I wanted to do things realistically. I'm doing a run tomorrow, and that's just me being selfish. And like, you know what? Everyone's gonna do some things for your hips. I hope whatever it is that you're doing for the rest of your day is fun and enjoyable. Hopefully, you like us. You do the workouts. What the hell is this 5 degrees outside about? What's all that about? The video will be recorded. If you want to go through this again, is going to be recorded. Eventually, will be up on YouTube. If you wanted to go, you know what? I quite enjoyed this. I'll do this again another day. You can do that. And then I will see you next Saturday, if not before. Bye. Have a good day. Bye now. You're welcome. You're welcome. Good Saturday, or whatever day that you watch this. Go watch in, join in, whatever you want to say.